Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. I have Anna Moynihan, co-founder of TaskHer, here with me today. I first became acquainted with Anna after they were selected as a member of the Reach UK 2026 cohort. So naturally, as a female founder, I had to have her on my Women to Watch podcast. So Anna, for anybody that hasn't met you before, please give us a quick intro.
Hi, I'm Anna Moynihan. I'm co-founder of TaskHer. We're a platform that enables homeowners and businesses to book exclusively tradeswomen online.
You are relatively new, I guess, to PropTech since around COVID time. My understanding is you came from more of a marketing background. COVID hit, you're going through a house renovation, and I feel like that's opened a can of worms for you. And you've moved into the PropTech sphere since. So how do you think your background working in marketing and having that direct exposure on the consumer end has helped you with coming up with TaskHer and obviously making it the success it's been for the last 5 years?
I was working in events, heading up the marketing department of a large events agency, and had this experience where I was struggling I just wasn't having a great experience booking tradespeople for my own home renovation project, and realised that actually I was never offered a woman. There was no obvious sort of representation for women in trade, and so had this idea for TaskHer, sort of assuming that it already existed, if I'm honest, and went online and realised that there was nothing. Spoke to my co-founder / husband around it, and his background is building companies as well as sort of marketplace platforms. And we realized that actually between the two of us, so my marketing background and his sort of tech marketplace background, was actually a really helpful skill set to build something that would support women in trades. And what we realized, sort of digging into the trades world, is that firstly, women are massively underrepresented in the trades world. Only around 2%, or the figures are slightly hazy, but around between 2 and 5% of women work in the trades, specifically on the tools. But also, when you're a tradesperson, a lot of the time you are specifically on the tools. So you're not on your laptop, you're not marketing yourself, you're not promoting yourself, and that is kind of where our skill set really came into play. And it was really exciting to be able to kind of launch a project where we could actually almost slightly rebrand the trade, and everything from our brand and our tone of voice and the way that we sort of market our business and the women that work with us, we wanted to be different from what was out there already that was specifically male targeted. So that's kind of how I use my experience to really kind of get under the hood of how the women working with us, the tradeswomen, but also the women who are booking us, think and what they were after.
Amazing. I guess it's multifaceted on your end. I mean, you have to get with the supply and recruiting enough qualified tradeswomen in the sector in the first place, as they are significantly underrepresented. But then you also have that demand. So again, your business model is changing at the moment, but acquiring those B2C homeowners and getting that efficient customer acquisition cost down. But also now moving more into B2B. So tell us a bit more about the work that you've been doing with women's refuges, letting agents. I feel like you're opening into a new dimension since being within the Reach cohort.
Yeah, exciting. As you said, we started off B2C, so exclusively for homeowners, to enable them to just sort of have a frictionless booking experience online. And then we've started working with women's refuges last year, Refuge being one of the biggest in the country and one of our biggest clients. What we found was, obviously, it's sort of a match that makes so much sense, that these women's refuges, they are housing women who are survivors of domestic abuse, and so having a male tradesperson going into those properties not only is restrictive when it comes to actually having the women who are living in those properties being home, but also every time a tradesperson or a tradesman would come into these refuges, it would also require a member of staff to go with them, and so that was sort of taking them out of their job. So what we found is that obviously the tradesmen that we're working with are able to just go in there and do the job. Also, we found that the women who are living in these refuges find it really interesting and actually really exciting to actually talk to the tradeswomen and actually find out about their skill sets. And it's quite an aspirational role, I suppose. So moving on from that, we sort of realised that actually, when it comes to actually having, I suppose, ARR, it's really helpful. If we've got 100 boilers once a year to service for a client, that's really, that's great for us. So we're looking at working with more lettings agents, and hence why we're working with Reach, and estate agents as well. And housing associations is another avenue that we're going down. So we're keeping our B2C side, but also we're modifying the way that we work, and we're doing a lot of pilot projects at the moment with Reach and the people that we've been introduced by. So that's really exciting.
And it's your husband that's been your driving force behind co-founding this business with you. A lot of the tradeswomen, like you said, they're 2 to 5% maybe of the working population in those trades. So again, passing down that skill set, but just being able to share it with like an untapped proportion of people that they probably haven't before. And credit to you, credit to your husband for being able to create that safe space for women, but also kind of get that trickle down of all the success and skills that men have been able to acquire, I guess, more overtly over the years, and being able to share it out.
Yeah, it's great. And also, I mean, the tradesmen that work in the trades industry, a huge amount of them are huge advocates for women in trade, and they just want more women as well. And like you say, the tradeswomen that we work with wouldn't have been skilled up without men in trade sort of supporting them and helping them get those skills.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely a minority within the minority, and being a female founder in PropTech and also helping that 2 to 5% that, like you're doing. So really glad that everything's going so well with Reach, and you're going to continue to grow into 2026. In terms of your presence, for anybody watching this that may want to meet you, say hi, collab, work with you, whatever it might be, PropTech Connect in September. I think you're attending in London, aren't you?
Yes, we'll be there with Reach and the rest of the Reach cohort as well. So if anyone's around and wants to chat, then we'll be on the Reach stand.
Yeah, say hi in person. We've added another familiar face to Women in PropTech. Woo! So yeah, if anybody sees Anna around, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me, raise awareness on this, and I'm really excited to see more of TaskHer in the years to come.
Thanks so much. Thanks.